Hi everyone, it's Mina Fung. Welcome to another episode of 10x Visions, live interview of former corporate leaders turned entrepreneurs. This show is sponsored by pullimpact.com. The purpose of the show is to introduce you to 10x people and their career transitions, lessons learned, and success journeys, so you too can take inspired actions to make the change you want to make, to see in yourself and in the world. Today, my guest is Irene Pollak, all the way joining us from Australia. It's 7:30 a.m. her time. I first met Irene when we were both the students of Seth Godin a year and a half ago. So please help me welcome Irene joining me so early at 7:30 from Australia. Welcome, Irene.
Hi, Mina. Thank you for asking me to come along.
I was surprised recently when I found out you have launched another new business while running your marketing agency, Rumble Media.
Oh.
So tell us, what do you do with your new business and who do you serve?
I have launched an online PDF fashion business from an old business that I used to have from 2001 to 2013. And what I've done, because through that time doing vintage revamped fashion for women sizes 8 to 20, and because I have all that information, I was reluctant to let it go. So with the world now, I was like, well, I can convert it all to PDF patterns, and that I have done. But what I've done to make it different is it's all supported with online sewing lessons. So I have professional fashion people, like I've got a pattern maker, 40 years experience. She does all my patterns and she does part of the lessons. And my other teacher is Justine. And she is a machinist and has been a machinist for some of the biggest labels in Brisbane. So she has got 30 years experience. So it's really quite liberating to have wise women teaching girls, boys, women, men how to sew. So yeah, we're in 3 months in and I have 140 people on my email list and 42 students.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So you are doing well in building your tribe. How did you get the business started? And then why did you even want to have this business in the first place?
I know. Look, I've been to growing businesses for other people. You know, usually they've already started, and what I do is I scale. My logo is my slogan is if you can sell it, I can scale it. You know, so like it's a Perry Marshall. Even though I didn't know this when I started saying that, it's something he says. If you can't sell what's in your business, I can't sell what's in your business. So I'd always said to them, if you can sell one, I can sell hundreds. So I spent I'd actually spent most of my business in December and early January, getting everything set up, the software stack and everything for WeMadeIt sorted so that we could launch on January 7th. And that was from doing Alt MBA with Seth Godin in October. We had to talk about a project, and my project was my idea of relaunching this business. And so, you know, Seth is always about, you don't have to be perfect, just get it launched. So I was like, okay, all right, this is how I want it to be. But I just kind of went, okay, that's 70% done. Great, ship it. That's 70%, ship it, you know, ship it. So what my business looked like on January 7th and what it looks like now is already different. But I dropped the perfection, which is what kills businesses from launching. So I dropped that and I just made sure that at least I got to 70% that I was happy with. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. So I just, you know, software stack. Yep, that's good. That works. No frictions. That's what we're going with, you know, even though my developer was like, it's not perfect. I was like, I don't want perfect. I want done, So that's how we kind of got it going, really, because we stopped waiting for it to be perfect. We just got it done enough so that people could buy, people could consume, and I had my basic emails automation set up. Right. Already now I've got my funnel for the next level of iterations already built out that I've got to slowly implement. So it's that, 5% improvement every week that so it's achievable, but it's not overwhelming. And that's how I did it.
That's so wonderful.
And the bullet journal. And the bullet journal. I actually bought Ryder Carroll's new book. I mean, it's almost like the universe just went, here, use this. And what that did was allow me to take the big task of launching WeMadeIt and break it down into who am I for, what's the change I want to deliver, and how can I do that? And it was like, I want to teach people how to sew. I want to teach people how to do the staples, not all of it. I don't want to do fashion. I just want to do, when you have a skirt that you like, you usually get 3 or 4 of them. When you have a pair of pants, it's the same thing. You just want your staples to be consistent in your wardrobe. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm not trying to do everything. I'm just doing the staples.
That's wonderful. Something called capsule fashion or capsule pieces, so they can go to again and again. It's good quality, good piece, and even better, they make it themselves, so they can be so proud of it. How do you?
And they're smart.
Of course,
they're smart with their money. You know what I mean? And we all want to be smart, right? So,
of course. How did you initially find these people, or you have been following them over the years, or is from your previous business?
No, well, a part of it is from the raving fans. Like my raving fans are from my previous business. They're like all in. Irene, I love you. So glad to see you back, because I was gone for 5 years from it. So they were all like, give us your patterns, give us your patterns, give us your patterns. And I was like, okay, but I didn't know I didn't have the time to deliver it, and I didn't have the people or the tech together to be able to do it, because converting offline patterns to online patterns, there's only a small amount of people that are doing it. Very, very small amount of people that are doing it well and professionally. And I just happened to find someone, and I'll explain that process of how I actually qualified them as the star person for me, and it's worked out really well. And it's something I learned in a course I did in 2017. But anyway, sorry, what was the question again? How did you find your initial tribe to get it rolling to 140? Right. Okay, so I did the ask method with Ryan Lebeck in 2017, and rather than being a serial student, I am applying what I've learned. So I did a quiz on a Facebook campaign with a software called LeadsHook, so that I would ask questions to qualify whether my business idea was valid. So rather than going, I'm going to launch this business because everybody loves fashion and everybody will want to learn how to sew, I validated my idea. Even though I really, really wanted to launch it, I validated it with a Facebook quiz, and I got 240 responses in less than 2 weeks. And that made up 100. Yeah. So it cost me, I think altogether that Facebook campaign cost me around about $300, $400 to run, because I did a video to keep the costs down. So, and I got those responses. I identified my 4 buckets of my hyper, my really engaged audiences. And then I've taken that knowledge and I've put that copy, their words and everything like that onto my website in my marketing campaigns, so that I keep on delivering based on their 4 main frictions. And so I've got those as the guideposts on what patterns come out first, so I can grow my business sustainably, not being, you know what I mean? So that when I release a pattern, I know people are going to love it.
Wow, that's amazing. Because most of the question I heard nowadays, either on the Facebook group or on the Zebra founder platform, including a lot of tech founders, they keep asking, how do they find their target audience? They have this brilliant product, but they don't know the target market yet. I know Seth Godin always said, find your tribe. That's how you find your tribe. So it's very valuable. I should put that clip everywhere so everyone can like start doing, and instead of just struggling and then being paralyzed by not doing much. That's so wonderful to know.
And you know what? I made the decision that if I didn't get the valid data and I didn't get that response, that I was going to not launch it. Even though I love it and it really does tickle a bone for me, like I'm passionate for it. I can stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing whatever I need, you know, writing copy, building out an email campaign, whatever it is for that. I'm focused and driven. But if there's no demand, like even Seth says, you know, you'll spend millions of dollars creating a demand when there isn't one. And yet there's demand out there. You just have to ask what it is and uncover your blind spots. So it's not just about asking, it's about asking the right questions. So if I'm going to ask this question, what's the point of the answer? Is it going to tell me what? What am I going to do with that? You know, so that's why I had 4 questions in my initial quiz, and I made sure they were product related and audience related. So it was 2 demographic questions, 2 product questions. So then I could use that data to validate whether my business idea was relevant to the marketplace. And so far, so good.
Yeah, that $300 is well spent. Oh my goodness, $300 to launch a business. That's like nail your market and the message. That's brilliant. I think a lot of people can learn from that. So
look, I think it would save a lot of money for entrepreneurs. And, you know, if there's resistance, you need to look into that, because, you know, you're scared that your business isn't going to be valid. And you know what? It's going to save you a lot of energy. It's going to save you a lot of heartache, because it doesn't matter how much passion you've got for a product. If there is no market demand, there is no market demand.
That's true. A lot of time it's more about the demand and market match. So they can be white product, but matching with the wrong audience. So it is good to find the audience first and then test it out, or to try another way to test it out. That's definitely true. But as much as you said, this is true. If you can sell one, that means there's demand, there's people who want it. So find the ones first. The most difficult part is from 0 to 1. That's where the people's wondering, where's my clients coming from? How do I find my target market? And then nail the message and then get the right match between the market and the products. So yeah, that's brilliant ideas. I will share the clip. I'm sure so many entrepreneurs will be like saving a lot of their hairs because they're not pulling out their hair or trying to try all different things and tactics that's not working. So from idea to execution, how long did it actually take you? You mentioned about, based on my calculation, is just about a few months. Is that right? Or is longer than that?
No. This is something that's a little bit different for others, right? Because I'd actually had Wind and Water offline for 12 years. But the thing was, that business was made for you. So I made the clothes, I shipped it, and they came and bought it. You know what I mean? Whereas this was converting it to the PDF version. So what I did within Alt MBA is I discussed my idea, my project idea, and I mapped it out. So in the 4 weeks of Alt MBA, we kind of went deep into our, reasoning. Who's it for? What's the change we want to make? For me, it's about sustainability. I want people to learn how to make good clothes or make clothes so that when they go shopping, they're going to go, you know what, that's cheap. That's cheap fabric, that's cheap sewing. And, like H&M at the beginning of last year burnt 4 tons of unsold high street fashion. So, there is this, for me, that's the change I want to make. I want to show people how to buy good clothes so that they don't consume bad, and so that was my change. And so from that, with the 4 weeks from from Alt MBA, and then I couldn't really attack it until I'd done all my agency work and got it. So I worked really hard from October to early December to make sure all my campaigns were shipped for my clients so that I could spend the last 3 weeks in December and the first week in January getting my software stack and getting my first 5 designs on the website. So I did that in a crazy pace, which I do not recommend.
Wow.
But, I got it launched. I got it launched a week after my proposed launch date. And, nothing crashed. Everything went well. It was good. And I sold something on my first day, which really was...
Whoa.
Yeah. And I sold my first annual plan on my first day, and that woman is forever solid. She is my, she doesn't know it yet, but she is going to be treated like a queen for the rest of the days of We Made It, just for purely validating my business idea for me. She went all in, so that kind of gave me the drive to keep on going. I took a week off. I am going to say I took a week off after that, though.
Well, you deserve it. That's amazing. That's probably the fastest I ever heard anyone launching in about 4 weeks. But also other entrepreneurs has to take it into a little bit more consideration that you have your marketing background behind it. So that helps.
I use my team. Yeah, I used my team. So there was 3 of us working on it. I probably spent around about $6 or $7 grand getting the between my hours and predominantly my staff's hours, and getting all the graphics, a website. We launched it on Shopify, so it was a lot easier. We didn't have to do it on WordPress, so there was less coding involved. It was very templated. It did take a week and a half to work out the software stack based on what we were doing, and so it's different. It's very, and I launched it as a membership site, but then I've changed it to just being a single product. So that's another thing. I thought that was a blind spot I didn't address, and I should have initially, but I changed it, and I haven't lost any of my subscribers or anything like that. They know I've been very transparent with them, saying, hey, nothing's set in stone apart from the patterns and the lessons, how the delivery and everything's happening. That's going to be, and I've told them that the real launch is happening in June, July, but this is me getting those early adopters in to help me shape We Made It. So even though I've launched, I don't feel like I've properly launched until June, July, when we're going to have a challenge. We're going to have a challenge launch. So
wow, that's a great idea to have a soft launch. So you work out all the ins and outs, and then you have a group of tribe building up even before the launch. So you are totally using the Seth Godin method of building the tribe before you launch the product. That's brilliant. I can see the trend now.
I am loving the hell out of everyone who's commenting. If I ask them questions and say, what's your friction? What do you want me to show you? How can I help you? What can I do for you? Let me serve you. It's all about that. Nothing is too much. How can I get you from where you are today to the change that I know you can have? And I am literally reading A Beautiful Constraint, Giving Yourself an A, The Art of War, all these books that I just keep on repeat, so that when the lizard brain or the imposter syndrome starts to become a little bit too big and overwhelms me with the fear factor coming in, I just go to those books and listen to that wisdom and go, right, you forgot lesson 6. Apply that now. Deal with the lizard brain. It's only, even big people, Brendan Burchard had a dark night of the soul that lasted nearly a year, and that's what you have to get through, because once you get through that, who you are at the end of that is resilient, remarkable, and really impressive when people show up for you. So even though it feels like you're being tumbled through a waterfall and down rapids and being beaten and bashed and stretched to your capacity, who you become at the end of that is a really resilient business person. And in business, resilience is a key characteristic that you need to have, I believe. And you're just a better person, I think, because you pushed yourself so far outside your comfort zone. You're a new human.
This is another brilliant nuggets that all the entrepreneurs should hear, because of how the media works. Everyone's thinking about strategy, well, maybe not even strategy, tactic, and they wonder why things are not working out for them. And they forgot about there's so many bits and pieces to put things together, including putting themselves together, which is actually a big part of the business.
And Seth Godin always says, always be testing. Always be testing. So people launch and they think it's perfect, but it's not. It's perfect for you, but you're not your market. Your market's your market. So what do they want? Always be testing. And then when you find that sweet spot, it's just about running that racetrack of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, you know? So, yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. So tell me, how do you manage to have two businesses running side by side?
I think I'm very blessed that I really, really love marketing. Like, I love it. I love it. And if I love the story that a business can share with their customer. You know, we have the great fortune of having, you know, Natalia in our group, and she is a fantastic, you know, leader in that concept of storytelling and business. She's got a really unique viewpoint on that. And so I've kind of taken her little insights and Bernadette Giroir as well and put that into it. And so when I've got a template of what a funnel is and how to do the marketing for businesses, and for different businesses, it's tweaked. And there's a great marketing guru that says, you know, when you learn marketing for other businesses and how it works for them, you can apply it to different industries, and it has some of the strategies can actually work in different industries, and they're a really good hack. So I love WeMadeIt, but I love Rumble Media because it makes me better at business. But it also makes me help those businesses that work with me who are good and offer a good service to people. It makes me, you know, better for them, you know. So I don't have a lot of clients with Rumble. I only deal with, and sometimes they come in for a little while and then they go out. So sometimes with work, it can be really crazy, intense. But what I've done is I've got a great project management software that I use. Asana, I've just moved back to because they finally got templates, which is great. So I put in sprints in there and I do what I need to. I'm very disciplined with my hours for clients, and I'm very disciplined with WeMadeIt. I treat WeMadeIt like a client for Rumble Media, you know, because it is a business, right? It is a business, and I cannot get lost in the kumbaya of my business, because otherwise I will not run it profitably. I will spend hundreds of hours in it tweaking something that doesn't need to be tweaked. And when you put yourself in a position where you implement for yourself a beautiful constraint that you have to work within, it's amazing how much and how good a quality stuff you will ship because you have given yourself clear boundaries to do so. And that is what I do with. And so the two of them together are actually a very beautiful combination. So WeMadeIt is all digital. Apart from the video lessons that I record, once I do a lesson video filming day once a week. So I have just now got a videographer on board. So she comes and helps me do the filming, and she takes all that editing off my plate. So I am the CEO of WeMadeIt, and I am the digital marketing strategist of Rumble Media.
You just gave me a brilliant idea. Since I'm trying to take my offline business online, well, because it's two sides, because of it's online, I'm new, and then I spend so much time on it. But because it's my own business, I don't treat it as my client's business. I do it differently, and I don't produce the result that I help my clients to produce. I was wondering why I can't help my clients to be so successful. And then when I'm doing my online, I'm struggling. I don't have the kind of passion or the kind of focus like I help my clients because I'm not treating myself as a client, which I should. There you go, bingo.
Great, fantastic. Yes. I have a beautiful network of women that I meet every Wednesday for a strategy meeting for an hour. And we keep that hour no matter what. 3 o'clock, we're done. 2 p.m., 3 p.m., we're done. But we spend 20 minutes on each other's business talking about it. And they actually help me come to that decision. So I'd like to say I'm a wise woman, but I'm a wise woman with the wisdom of others, like it's I do not shine, and WeMadeIt has not got to where it is without a lot of women contributing to it. I would say there's probably around about 8 or 9. So if I can pass a little bit of that wisdom on to you, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Great. Now I'm passing that to our audience, whoever's watching, learning from each other. Now it's all about collaborations rather than thinking about competitions. So how did you find the right people to help you, and how do you keep them happy?
I think, well, the fashion industry has a little bit of, it's a little bit dark on some sides. Sustainability isn't at the forefront of it, and some of these women who make other designers really successful do the sweat, but they don't see that money come back to them. And Betty was a pattern designer for me with Wind and Water, my previous business, and she was just exceptional. And she has, since she's done her fashion degree in the 80s, she has done nothing else but pattern making. And so I'm going to take Cal, deep work, the work of Cal Newport, I think his name is. Anyway, and so I identified her as a star player, and I went, Betty, come on board. And I've actually brought her on board in a rev share capacity because she's in her 60s, but she is a smart woman, and she can see, the potential of WeMadeIt. And as soon as I offered that to her, her drive to get involved in WeMadeIt is just, it's gone from, say she was giving 60%. She's now giving 120%. Like she's, where she's coming back to me on patterns and adjustments and what's the gap in what we're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So I've got this woman with 40 years, pattern making experiences giving me gold dust for the women that we're serving, you know what I mean? And she comes and she does the teaching days when we're doing offline teaching days for this year, so we can also get rid of any blind spots in the teaching that we're doing online. We're trying to work that out. So we're not just doing it all online at this point, and we probably will never do it only online, but the offline will be small in comparison to the online. And so she's on board. And then Justine, she did my first samples on my business that I started in 2001, the fashion business. And she also too is a really, really smart woman, but she hasn't kind of found that success in fashion. But she's really, really good at, teaching and sewing. Like she's got 30 years of machinist work. So I did the same with her. I gave her rev share. All the others I've picked up in courses that I've done online, and one of the other women that I found her on Fiverr, and she's on board because she's amazing. You know what I mean? She's really amazing, and I kind of gave her a proposal, and she said, "Yep, I'm in." So, and I work 10 times. I match their energy. And some. So they know when they put in, I put in. Like it's not like, "Hey, do it for me." It's like, I lead from beside, I'm like, let's do that. What do you need me to do? Sure, I'll do it. When do you need it done by? Done. Like it's nothing is too much, and I'm always organized. I'm always on time, and I do what I say I'm going to do. So I give them certainty, and they give me everything they've got, so it's energy. At this point in my business, it's energy, and the money will come later. And I think, and then I asked a sewing machine. I asked one sewing machine company if they would, help loan us sewing machines for sewing. They're a little bit not ready to capitalize online, but they're a really good business. I haven't given up on them. They're just not right now for me. And then I found another business that has 5 shops around Australia, and they're the largest online retailer for sewing machines. And I told them my business idea, and they said, we'd like to sponsor you. I said, I'd love you to sponsor me. So I've got Brother Sewing Machine and these guys sponsoring me. So I have the gift of the gab, and I love what I'm doing. So I just talk to people. Not everybody says yes, but when they do say yes, oh my God, they're 300% in. And it's great. It's great. It's great.
Do you know why? I think I can see why, and I can feel why.
Because I love it. Because I love it.
That's true. Also, we can hear your energy. We want part of it. So just talking, yeah, just talking with you, it feels so energetic. I feel so happy. It makes me feel like, oh, I can do anything too, just like you. See, there you go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's you know what, don't get me wrong, I have my dark days. I have my dark days where I hide under the doona. I have chai all day. I don't get out of my house clothes. And, you know, it's a roller coaster. And you just have to walk the dog, go watch a movie, go do the things that juice you up. You know, switch off for a day. Don't be 7 days, 24/7 on. You know, just you know, for me, I take the gratitude in the bed. Like if someone comments on my YouTube video, I'm like, engagement. That's what I want. Cool. I'm shipping. I'm winning. You know, it's not always about the buck. It's about I've got their attention. They know what they want, what I've got. I'm going to keep shipping. So it's not always about the money. Don't get me wrong. Money is definitely the fuel to keep me going. And I think we're at $1,500 so far, but it's good. You know what I mean? I know that because I've sold one, because I've sold 35, 40, I don't know, 45 sales since January. I know that I just come back to Seth Godin's, your original tribe, your first tribe, love the hell out of them. Make them feel like you work for nobody else. And then they'll go, my God, Mina is amazing. She will ship it, you know, or she's got the goods, you know, and then they'll go, you should talk to my person, you know, she has exactly what you want. And eventually, and, you know, Seth said it might take a year, it might take 2, and that's the space I've given myself. So I've taken that pressure of being, I'm going to pay off my mortgage. I'm going to have a trip to Paris every year. It's like, I just want to be relevant. I want to create change. I want to make a difference in the world. And the internet gives me that freedom to do so. How can I be different? How can I make an impact? You know, and the thing is, Seth Godin says it, success today is different to how success was in the 90s, right? It's not about having 1 million people on your Facebook page, right? It's not about that. It's about having 1,000 raving fans who talk to everyone about you. You know, look at Lady Gaga. She had her success, but now she's got a whole different kind of success because she stepped away, reevaluated who she's for, and then came back. So not only has she got her core tribe, she's now got all these other people who see what she stands for. You know, it's not about being shallow. It's about making a connection, you know, and that is what business is about today. It's about making a connection, giving people what they want so that they keep on consuming to fill whatever void that is. And then you're relevant and you're not like a phase, you're consistent. You know, you become consistent. It's not like, oh, I've won this time because I did this marketing hack. I've won this time because they would miss me if I'm not here. That is when you know you've got a sustainable business that will take you through whatever economic or political landscape is going to come in your country, because you have people who would miss you if you're not around. And that is the key, I think, to success. And when you put that as your framework, all that other pressure about KPIs and blah, blah, blah just disappears because you're about the people. And when you're about the people, your business is sustainable, in my eyes.
Ultimately, business is P2P, people to people. No matter what you sell, what you do, even when you sell dog food or toys, it's still P2P. because you sell to the
Yeah.
owner first. Yes,
Yeah.
people first.
People first. Always.
Yes, I can totally see Seth. I have a question about Seth Godin's influence on us, on you, but everything you said is totally, a reflection of Seth Godin's philosophy, his way of building people and building the tribe and also serving the world. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So
look, there's no other marketer I refer to the most other than Seth, because he's not about money. He's always shown it so many times. He's not about money. He's about change.
Yes, that's why my show is, the purpose is about introducing 10x people. Now I can think of 10x people as change makers, dream makers.
Yes.
Not in the change maker, the word is used by or invented by social entrepreneur, but nowadays it's not restricted by the social entrepreneur or in that space. I think it's anyone who are willing to make a change or helping others to make a change. So we're not live our life 99% being unconscious, basically, and just complain. So what's still keeping you awake at night?
You know what? Seth Godin says, we go to bed with the best ideas still in me. So just before I go to sleep, I'm like, I have this, what I've started doing is I have this 10 minutes where I just, apart from the nights that I'm knackered and I just fall asleep, but, I have my laptop beside my bed and I put in the last ideas of my day in there, and I map out, and I tell you that he is so right. I've come up with some pearlers just before I go to sleep. What makes me, apart from that, what keeps me awake at night is making sure I'm keeping the balance of my hours with my businesses and my family in check, because my kids are turning 15 and 18 this year. And, my son is close to, being independent, and I want to make sure that the time I spend with him is valuable. And my daughter is coming through a critical phase, 14 to 15, going into high school, the last 3 years of high school, making sure that I'm present for her too. So the business, WeMadeIt, is also for her, because I'm teaching her how to sew next week. So we're going to film that initial lesson and put that, so I film everything.
That's
so nothing,
beautiful.
I don't miss. Yeah, I don't miss, don't get me wrong, we've done things without it being filmed, but, I make it so that I capture that, that organic, that unique moment of us sewing together, so I'm really looking forward to that next week. So, and, she's really, because I've always had fashion and she's been with me. So, when she was born, she was at the markets with me in her porta cot, and I was selling and, and so she's always been around it. So I see her consume cheap fabric. So for me, it's about making sure I help her see the fashion industry differently, and being a woman, going into a woman, differently. So, and then I also look at who else can I help? So that's what keeps me, the ideas of what's the impact and what's my blind spots, my blind spots keep me awake sometimes.
Oh. So before I ask you the last question, where can people find you?
I'm WeMadeIt is on Facebook. It's called WeMadeIt, a style story, because I can't use swear words on Facebook. They'll penalize you. But on Instagram, it's called WeMadeIt Bitches, because WeMadeIt was already taken. And I was determined to have that URL. So, and it's, I share fashion stories or sewing stories there. I'm just starting with that. So that's going to be my medium for that. And I'm online, WeMadeIt.com.au. And yeah, that's kind of where you find that. And Rumble Media, just find me on LinkedIn, Irene Pollak, or rumblemedia.com.au. So
beautiful. What's your vision for both of your business and for the world?
For Rumble Media, I would like to eventually move into business coaching. So helping people launch a business and, you know, like even come to the point of where they are in their business. Like one of my clients, I coach them, you know, on the next growth phase and where we should be focusing energy and marketing and what team dynamics we need to introduce. So I do a bit of that. And they really love it. And then I've been in Ship It, a group from Alt MBA, and a couple of people I've been helping. I helped out for the first time coaching with them this last run sprint. And the 3 people that were there really loved what I did as a team leader. So I'd like to kind of go that way with Rumble Media, but also do help people set up a framework, like a marketing template for their business and go, this is what you need to do, run this. Here's your Asana spreadsheet, you know, your Asana sprint, like the different columns and everything that's in it. Go run that, rinse and repeat, you know, go and let's check in once a month and let's have a look at your stats. Let's see what blind spots are happening. Let's see where you should be doing more marketing. Are you getting conversion on mobile? So a lot of that they don't need me for, because I've done that. I've done that from scratch and for 7 businesses so far. So now I just want to go, here, you do it. Get this person on Fiverr for this. Use this person on Upwork for that. Get an outsourcing in the Philippines if you want to for that, or in Mexico, you know, depending on where you are in the country. And give people, and say, don't start your business. You don't have a valid, you've run your quiz, go find something else. Go back to the drawing board, see what you found in the quiz, and let's see if there's something you can change within your business, you know. Just that kind of stuff. Like that's where I see Rumble Media going. For WeMadeIt, I actually see that it will create, you know, income and sustainability for my existing teachers, but I'm also hoping that it will transform women to actually go, you know what, I want to work in the fashion industry. I want to be a machinist. I want to make things for other people. I want to do this, or I'm going to go badass in my business. I'm going to go and ask for that raise in my job, you know. So I actually see fashion and learning how to sew is one step of getting yourself outside your comfort zone. It's like, I don't know how to sew. I don't, you know, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, stop that dialogue. Let's change that. Let's do this instead. And then hopefully when they conquer that fear, whatever next fear is coming up for them, they're like, I can do this. So I see both of them as a way for me to help people. And I like helping people. And if I, and in the internet allows me to leverage that so I can help more people and more people and more people become stylish, smart, you know, sustainable, don't have to worry about job security because they're smart at doing their business. You know, there's going to be lots of little boutique businesses popping up everywhere that's going to service the 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people that they need for that business. And we as a society will become better for it because we have all these really smart people who are passionate about what they do or are good at what they do, and they're delivering that, you know. So yeah, that's where I see both going. WeMadeIt being fun and sustainable, you know, Rumble Media being badass, helping people be badass, you know.
That's so true. That's so true. And nowadays, I think the only insecurity is working at a job. The only security is to have the options, whether you're working on the job or you have a side business or go all in after your business is up and running, or have multiple business. So like gone are the days that holding your job and then retire from that is like completely gone. So many people will be in for a bad surprise in the near future.
Absolutely. Look, my husband is a CFO, so he's constantly telling me stories. Well, we talk business, you know, we do pillow talk, business talk, you know, and even the successful businesses have terrible spending habits. And that is the problem. I actually recommend the book Profit First. If you are starting off in business, read this book. It will teach you how to divvy up your funds, especially when you're going from a job to a business and your boss pays your tax and your boss pays your super or your 401k. You know what I mean? You need to get smart about what's happening to the money that's coming into your business so that at the end of the financial year, you don't have it terrible surprise from the tax or the 401k or whatever it is, that you haven't done what you should be doing through that year and you haven't been running your business sustainably. There are a lot of businesses out there that have been going for 10, 15, 20, 30 years even, that have really bad systems and processes, and they're not making as much money as they should be. And, you know, that's where people get, you know, and that makes me worried, because I see the 17, 30, 50, 100 people in that business. There's going to be a slice off at some point, because that business is not sustainable. And you as an employee don't have the ability to see, you know, what they're doing that's wrong. And inevitably your job is not as secure as you think it is, because this business hasn't got good systems and processes. They haven't done the digital marketing strategy that's relevant for their business. They're, you know, like they're doing a digital marketing strategy, but they're spending as much as they were before, and they're not getting the same KPIs, you know. So there is a lot of dysfunctional businesses out there that on the outside, they look really functional, but, you know, at some point, the GM, the CEO, the CFO is going to have to make a decision that means those who are employees at the lower end, or in parts where there's a saturation of that kind of skill set in the business, they will get trimmed off. So I'm hoping that as people get a side gig, they're going to understand, wait, no, I don't want to work for that company because they aren't doing this, you know, and then they will have some kind of certainty knowing that they've got a job with the right kind of company. So, you know, side hustle is good for that. You know what I mean? Side hustle is definitely good for that.
I'm all in for side hustles, whether if they are the lower portion of the employee or even executive, like CEOs, the jobs, even CFO. It's like the average 18 months to 3 years. If they are not changing, they're very insecure. So like being a former corporate leaders, I totally know how their psychology works. There's a lot of politics. It's not a healthy world to be in for most of them. I'm sure there's great companies out there. But for all the years I've been in corporate world, I would say 99% is quite unhealthy. So that's why I want to wake up people and say, take the matter into your own hands. So let me close by saying thank you for a great conversation. For those of you watching, thank you. And for those of you watching the replays, leave Irene and I your comments, and we'll reply your comments. And until next time, set intentions, take action. Dream big, but start small. So bye, Irene. It's a great conversation. Hope to do that another time. And bye, everyone. And I will talk to you off the camera next time.
Thanks, Mina.
And all the best.
You too.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.